So which of the following could be the graph of this? So since it's a straight line graph, y equals to mx plus c, and there's a negative gradient. So it will be downward sloping from left to right, and the figure will be figure 4. Okay, for this, when x is positive, y is negative. So when x is positive, y is negative. When x is positive, y is negative. So this is the one that will be. And when x is negative, y becomes minus, minus become plus. When x is negative, y is plus, positive. So it will be figure 3. So whether x is positive or negative, y is always positive. So it is figure 2. For the next question, we are going to complete the square. So we will write it as x squared plus 6x plus, we will halve the x here. Okay, and then we will minus the same thing. Okay, remember the square, and we will minus 2. So this part here is a perfect square, and we will have x plus 3 square minus away. So 3 square will be 9. 3 square will be 9 minus another 2. So we have x plus 3 square minus 11. For part B, we are asked to solve this. So we will let x plus 3 square minus 11 be equals to 0. Bring the 11 to the other side. To remove the square, you will square root on both sides. So we will have plus minus square root 11. And that will give us x plus 3 equals to, now square root 11 will be 3.317. But we also have a negative 1, so we can have another equation, negative 3.317, because 1 is positive and 1 is negative. Bring the 3 to the other side. So we will minus 3. The question says 2 decimal places, so I will just stop here. And minus 3 as well. So x is equals to minus 6.32. The next question is a coordinate geometry question. To find the length of AB, the formula will be equals to the square root of x1 minus x2 square plus y1 minus y2 square. So we will square root the x coordinate, 8, minus away, negative 4 square plus y minus away 10 square. So we will have square root of 12 square plus negative 15 square. Then this will give us square root of 369, which is equals to 19.2, correct to 3 significant figures. Next, we are asked to find the gradient of AB. So the formula to find the gradient will be y1 minus y2 over x1 minus x2. Let's take the first y coordinate, negative 5, minus away 10. Since we start with a, we must start with a again for x, minus away negative 4. Pressing the calculator, I will have negative 15 divided by 12. And simplifying, we will have negative 1.25 or negative 5 over 4. To find the equation of the line AB, okay, since we already have the gradient, so we have y equals to mx plus c. The aim is to find the value of c here. we have a x, we have a y, and we have a m. Okay, the y, we will use the y here. The gradient, we will use -5/4. And for the x, since we use -5, we must use the 8 here. So, multiplying this, we'll have -10. Bring this over, it becomes +10. So c is 5. And we'll write down the final equation, y equals to the gradient x plus c, which is 5. So you have to sub in the value of m, and you have to sub in the value of c. Okay, lastly, a third point, P3 lies on the line AB. So the P3 will lie on this line, and they already given us this value of y here, because the first coordinates here is x, the second one is a y. It's always x, y. So y is 3. So all we need to do is just substitute 3 here. So for the last part, we just substitute 3 here equals to -5/4x plus 5. Since x is the only unknown, we will be able to find it. Let's just remove this first by bringing over -5. 3 minus 5 is -2. So we will divide by -5/4 divided by -5/4. And we will have 8/5. So x will give us 8/5. So that is the value of P, because x and P is the same thing. So P is 8/5. Calculate angle ABC. To calculate angle ABC, here we will have to use Picasso trigonometrical ratio. We will first look at this length here. It is called the opposite, and this is opposite the right angle, so it must be the hypotenuse. So looking at Picasso, we have the O, we have the H, and so we will use the formula sine theta equals to opposite over hypotenuse. Now this is our theta here. Our opposite is 16, our hypotenuse is 20. In order to find theta, you will have sine inverse 16/20. Make sure your calculator is in degree mode. Pressing your calculator, we will get the angle to be 53.1 degrees. Next, we have to find sine angle BCA. So this is the angle BCA. Sine BCA is actually a trigonometrical ratio. It is a fraction. Once again, it is a fraction, not an angle, not a length, but this whole expression here is actually a fraction. So the fraction is given by, once again, opposite over hypotenuse. Can you see that? This is opposite over hypo. So the final answer is just a fraction, and that's it. So the opposite, we do not have the opposite here, but we have the hypo, which is 20. In order to find the opposite, we have to use Pythagoras theorem. 20 square equals to the opposite, let's call this x square, plus 16 square. So x square will be equals to 20 square minus 16 square. And therefore, x square is equals to 20 square minus 16 square. That will give us 144. In order to find x, we will have x equals to square root 144, and that will give us 12. Okay, to remove the square, all you need to do is square root both sides, and press calculator, x will be 12. Now that we know that x is equals to 12, our opposite is 12, our hypotenuse is 20, and so simplifying, we will get 3 over 5. For cosine BCQ, right, so now we add B part 2. Now, angle BCQ is an obtuse angle. So, cosine angle BCQ is the same as negative cosine BCA. There must be a negative here. Since we know that cosine BCA is adjacent over hypo, so cosine BCA is adjacent over hypo. Because it's an obtuse angle, you need a negative sign in front. And hence, we will have negative 4 over 5. Next, we have a trigonometry question. Calculate the length of AC. You notice that I have a length, and an included angle. So we will be using cosine rule. So let's this length be A. Okay, let's AC be equals to A. Okay, so we can let it be X as well. A square equals to B square plus C square minus 2BC cosine the angle. All you need to do is press the calculator and we will have 8 square plus 5 square minus 2 times 8 times 5 times cosine 60. Now remember that this is actually A square. So to find A, you need to square root 49 and A will be equals to 7. Okay, next we are asked to calculate angle ACD. So now that we know that this is 7 meters, ACD, we have a pair of opposite measurements here. So since we have a length and an opposite angle, we will use sine rule. Okay, to apply sine rule, we will have sine angle ACD, which is the question, over its opposite side equals to sine 100 degrees over its opposite side. We have everything here except for one unknown, so we can solve this. What we need to do is cross multiply the 4. So sine angle ACD over 4. Let's press this first. Sine 100 divided by 7, we will get 0.14069. So we'll multiply the 4 over. And we will have 0.5627. In order to get the angle, we will inverse the sign. And our answer will be 34.2 degrees. Next, we will have part C. For part C, we are asked to find the area. So the area will be half AB sine C, half AB sine C. Alright, but the problem is for this triangle here, we do not have any included angle. So this is 100. This is 34.2. I have length AC and the length AD. So I must have this included angle. To get this included angle, I use 180 minus 100 minus 34.2. And this angle will be 45.8. So I have AB sine C, AB sine C. So I just need to add up these two areas. So the area is half AB sine C. This will be the left triangle, and half again A, B, sine C. This will be the right triangle. Okay, evaluating this, we will have area is 27 square meter, correct to the nearest whole number. Okay, to solve this, we need to multiply every term by x. So we have 2x squared multiplied by 3x equals to 2. Multiply by x, multiply by x, multiply by x. Bring the 2 over so that the right hand side is 0. And here we have a quadratic equation. Okay, so to solve this, we can use the formula or we can factorize. So in this case, we can factorize, and this will be 2x, x, there will be a 2, this will be a 1, this will be a minus, and this will be a plus. So therefore, we have x equals to 2 or x equals to negative half. So how did we get here? You can use cross factorization, 2x and x, because this will give us 2x squared. This will be the constant term, and this will be negative 3x. So what multiplied by what will give us 2? So we can try 1 and 2. Don't worry about the sign first. Okay. Cross, you have 1x. Cross, we will have 4x. In order to get negative 3x, this must be a minus, because 1x minus 4x is negative 3x. So this is minus, the sign will follow, this will be minus as well. Therefore, our answer is 2x plus 1, x minus 2. Next, we have to simplify this. So using the law of indices, they are all having the same base. So this is actually x power 2 times x power 3 divided by x power half. So what you do with the power is, if it's multiply, you add the power. If it's divide, you subtract the power. So we will have 4.5. And therefore, the x will be power 4.5 or power 9 over 2. All right, you can write 4.5 as well. So this for part A. For part B, I will have to expand this 2 square, a square, b square. So 2 square is 4, a square, b square. Then I have to multiply by 6. If it's a negative power, the term will go to the denominator. Negative power, the term will go to the denominator. Okay, let's settle the number first. 4 times 6, both are at the numerator. So 4 times 6 is 24. So they are at the numerator. I have a square, I have a cube. If I cancel, I will have a below. See, there's a times a. Below, there's a times a times a. If I cancel away 2 of them, I cancel away 2 of them, I'll be left with 1 below. I cancel 2 of the b above, 2 of the b below, I will be left with b squared below. So the answer is 24 over ab squared. For this word problem, we can use a diagram to help us to understand it better. The width of the rectangle is y cm, the length is 4 cm more than the width. So it is 4 plus y. Write an expression in terms of the length of the rectangle in terms of y. So part A is simply 4 plus y or y plus 4. Okay, next we have the area is 56. So length times breadth is equals to 56. Expanding this, we have y squared plus 4y equals to 56. Bring the 56 over, we will have y squared plus 4y minus 56 equals to 0. And that was what was given earlier. Now we are asked to solve this. Okay, if we are not confident of factorizing this, like the numbers are a bit too big, what we can do is we can use the formula. Okay, it is always good to use the formula whenever we are unsure. Y equals to negative b plus minus square root of b squared minus 4ac over 2a. Now a is 1. It is a coefficient of y squared. B is positive 4. It is the coefficient of y. And C is negative 56. It is the constant. So substituting in, we have y equals to negative b plus minus square root of b squared minus 4ac. And the whole thing over 2a. And we will get negative 4 plus minus square root of 4 square minus 4 times 1 times negative 56. That will give us 240 over 2. So what does this mean? One of them will be negative 4 plus square root 240 over 2. The other one will be negative 4 minus square root of 240 over 2. Okay, so one of the answer, okay, let me write it over here. This is part C. So negative 4 plus square root of 240 divided by 2, we will get 5.75. For this, when we press, we'll have negative 4 minus square root of 240 divided by 2, we'll get negative 9.75. So these are the two y values that we can have. Finally, to find the parameter, now y cannot be negative, so this must be 5.75. Okay, so this must also be 5.75. So we have 9.75 here. We have a 5.75. So this will give us 2 of the length. And it is 15.5. Since I need double, I will have 31. Alright, so the answer is 31 centimeter for the parameter. Next, we have a speed time graph. It's under the topic of kinematics. Total distance is the area under a speed time graph. You can use the area of a triangle plus a rectangle plus a triangle. Or we can use the formula for the trapezium, because this is a trapezium with 1 parallel sides. Let us revise using the formula for trapezium. It's equals to half the sum of the parallel sides and times the height between them. So half the sum of the parallel sides. So this will be 10 units. This will be 50 units. So we have 10 plus 50. And the height is 60. So multiplying will get 1,800. The distance is in meters, so we'll put the unit as meter. Acceleration. Now, for the acceleration, it is the gradient or the slope of the line at 25 seconds. So the acceleration right at this point here, it is from here to here. we will find the gradient. Okay, so the gradient is actually equals to the acceleration, which is equals to rise over run. You can also use y1 minus y2 over x1 minus x2, but it is easier if we just use rise, which is 60, over the run, which is 25. So 60 over 25, and we will have 2.4 meter per square second. Okay, finally, we have a real-world context question. The estimated population of Singapore is 5,638,700. So for every 1,000 people, okay, these are people, I will have 170 cars. Since the population of Singaporean was 5,638,700, the number of cars will be 5,638,700 divided by 1,000 multiplied by 170. And that will give us 958,579. Find the percentage of vehicles in Singapore that were cars. Okay, so there are 466 electric cars in Singapore. Okay, 0.084% of the cars were electric. So 0.084% of the cars were electric. So 0.084% is 466 electric cars. So 466 electric cars is 0.084% of the car population. For 100% of the car population, we will have 100 over 0.084 times 466. So that will tell us how many cars we have. And we will have 55476, 2 cars. So now let's find the percentage of these cars over the vehicles. So we have 55462 out of, just now the population of vehicles in the previous part was 958,579. So we multiply by 100%, and that will give us cars over total vehicles. And it will be 57.8%. To the nearest percentage, we will have 58%. Okay, the nearest 1%. Okay, for the next question, there were 1,600 charging stations. We have to increase by 44% in the previous year so that we can reach 60,000 by the year 2030. So what topic is this? This is actually compound interest, because we are increasing based on the previous year. All right. So if we have the total amount will be equals to the original and the percentage that we are increasing over the numbers of years. Because we are increasing based on the previous year, so it is a compound question. Okay, in this case, it's not really interest, but you're using the same formula like compound interest. So the original was 1,600, and the rates that we're increasing is by 44%, and the number of years from 2020 to 2030 is 10 years. And let's see, will this get us close to 60,000? So we will have 61340. So yes, in order to reach this 60,000, we will need 10 years to increase by 44%. All right, if we have 9 years, we will not have 60%, so we need another 1 more year. All right, so this part is not necessary, just to show you. When we have the 9th year, it is actually 42,597. So on the 10th year, we will hit 61,340. So Mr. Lee is correct. If we have 44% in 10 years, we will reach more than 60,000 of the previous year. So yes, Mr. Lee was correct. Okay, and that's all for the holiday homework.